right, so I added the question about the sleep because yes, if you are in periods of high workload, and if a sleep hygiene is not optimal. What do I mean sleep hygiene? We should, like everyone cares, and I'm gonna be sharing this with the team. Everyone cares about morning routine because the gurus on internet are all about being zen in the morning, taking the time for yourself so your day runs smooth. And what about the night routine, sleep routine? Sleep is your quickest way to guarantee a better day the day after. And sleep has a lot of rules that people has no idea they exist, such as, for example, there is circadian rhythm that we need to keep in order, such as what is that? Is the internal clock that we have on the body. And so the same way that the body knows that in the morning we need to wake up and we have some stuff happening and that has to get done, then at night the body should have a schedule of sleep where ideally you go to bed you go to bed at the same time every night and you wake up at the same time every morning. Now, everyone messes up with their own circadian rhythm on the weekends because, yes, on the weekends we tend to just sleep a lot later, and that's why Mondays are so hard for almost everyone because you are just sleep deprived. Because very likely what happens in a normal sleeping cycle is that you get the deep sleep in the first part of your night, and then the REM, which is where your brain rests and transfer all the information you learned in the day, happens on the last part of your sleep when you do have a normal sleep cycle. Like my sleep cycle is shit. I get some deep sleep like somewhere here, and because my sleep is artificial at the moment. I have sleeping pills for my personal things that I have going on. But when my sleep is okay, I normally get my deep sleep and then my REM sleep. And if it happens that I went to bed, if I went to bed 1 or 2 hours late, then it means that I'm going to be short on my REM sleep, and my anxiety that day goes through the roof. Why? Because this wasn't ready for the day. And I wasn't, my cognitive performance was not the same that if this is rested. So I believe that sleep is definitely something that everyone should be focusing on, and I shared a podcast on the chat, and I'm going to be sharing a podcast with you as well about sleep. Alright, I just shared a podcast and I told you where from start listening. So if you feel that you had a lot on your plate, it might also be the fact that your period is really around the corner, or just literally physically you just have been having too much from work. And then I know that as well, you go out, you drink, you don't eat well, and all those things will just increase your anxiety. That is the reason why I'm so psycho-rigid with my nutrition, with my rest, my recovery, the type of foods that I put on my body, and limit alcohol, because I know that if I don't do this, my anxiety just goes unmanaged. So I'm really liking. I'm not gonna give you the solution to fix your sleep, but definitely let's get more into sleep hygiene, where you start kind of winding down 2 hours before going to bed, and ideally you do start having some structure in your sleeping time. However, I can see that very much you're going at midnight every day. Yeah, so it's just that some days you have to wake up earlier than others, and that might be where you see here. So 6 hours 29 for a female, we should be sleeping 8 hours. And a female that trains, you should be sleeping 1 hour per hour of exercise that you do on that day. Yeah. So when